Trucking company is the latest victim of the GTA's spiraling auto theft problem.
This was on top of it, and they captured the guys. Finally, it's like a win for us.
The cash reward the company is giving police in return for their help, and what they want you to know about how officers jumped in.
I don't think you see me kicking or screaming right now.
Plus, sidestepping months of financial tension, the federal government agrees to spend big on Toronto's shelter system, why that matters for Toronto taxpayers.
And he does! Connor David!
And $1 million on the line. NHL players duke it out as the All-Star weekend hits the ice in Toronto. Good evening, I'm Chris Glover. Ending the week with yet another example of a crime problem that has been plaguing our region. Recently, a lot of focus has been spent on auto thefts in Ontario, not to mention $120 million federal dollars announced earlier this week. Well, now a Markham family is applauding and rewarding police after officers quickly retrieved their commercial truck. It took a car chase and the K-9 unit to wrangle the thieves, who were known to police throughout the GTA. Dale Manukduk gets us started tonight.
At 5 a.m. on Thursday, the Frigg family got a call that no one wants.
I got woken up to a little bit of a misery. My mom, she was on the couch trying to see what's happening, and the police were calling her about one of her trucks got stolen.
Just before 2 a.m., thieves pulled a dark pickup into an industrial park near Warden and 14th Avenue in Markham. They parked where the fleet of Little Guys delivery trucks were. Security video provided to CBC Toronto shows 3 men breaking into one and installing a device on the bottom to get it started.
No, the license plate is covered.
Then they drove off.
It's pretty scary because it is too close to home. But at the same time, I have great faith in our community, in our police department, how fast they tracked the truck, how fast they stopped the suspects.
About an hour after the vehicle was stolen, police got a call about a suspicious truck in a nearby parking lot. The Friggs were told the men were trying to break into another business. When police arrived at that scene, they were able to apprehend one of the suspects in the parking lot. The 2 others, however, rammed the pickup truck into a police vehicle and fled the scene.
We caught up with them on the on-ramp to the 407, and that's where when their vehicle was stopped, the 2 occupants then attempted to flee on foot. We quickly caught one of them, and then the third one, after a perimeter was set up, our awesome K-9 unit managed to find him and track him down and brought him into custody.
Police say the pickup truck used in the crime was stolen as well. The 3 men are facing a number of charges and were already on multiple release orders in Peel and Toronto.
Police was on top of it, and they captured the guys. Finally, it's like a win for us after so many times they break into our trucks.
The Friggs say their trucks have been broken into a handful of times over the years. To show their gratitude, they donated $5,000 to the force. They also say it could have been any business's truck.
Crime is on the rise, and as a community, we want everyone to be aware of what's going on. Everybody watch everybody's back and report anything that you believe is a little bit suspicious.
Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Markham.
Taking you over to Scarborough now, where police are investigating after finding a body in a ravine this afternoon. Police say they responded just after 4:30 late this afternoon. A body was located in Eglinton Ravine Park near Kennedy Road and Eglinton Avenue West. No word yet from police on the age or gender of the victim or the cause of death. And returning to a scene we told you about last night in Richmond Hill, police are investigating after 3 people were found dead inside a home on McKay Drive. Police have not identified the victims, but multiple neighbors say a family with 2 children have been living on the main floor, while a family of 3, including a baby, have been living in the basement unit.
It was shocking news, to be honest with you.
When I seen this yesterday, I couldn't sleep the whole night.
It hurts. And it's sad that the family's just gone.
Police say the incident appears to be isolated, and investigators do not believe there is any threat to public safety. They say postmortems are expected to begin tomorrow. Turning to some big news regarding Toronto's shelter system, the city will receive $143 million from the feds to address the growing number of refugees and asylum seekers in our shelter system. The cash from Ottawa will help avert an additional 6% hike for Toronto taxpayers. City Hall reporter Sean Jeffords has all the details.
From all the smiles and hugs, you'd never know there was tension between politicians in Toronto and Ottawa. But a $143 million funding commitment Friday comes after weeks of tough talk on both sides. The fight's been over who should pay to house around 6,000 asylum seekers and refugees in Toronto shelters. That accounts for more than half of the city's shelter population. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland tried to strike an upbeat tone.
And it means, critically, that more newcomers will have a safe and stable place to call home while they get settled.
And Mayor Olivia Chow, too, praised the federal government.
On behalf of the City of Toronto, we are very, very grateful.
The city had been asking Ottawa for funding to address the refugee shelter crisis for months. And then in January, it said it would need to levy a 6% tax increase if the federal government didn't come to the table. That prompted this fiery response from MP Yvonne Baker.
As far as the proposed, Olivia Chow's proposed tax increase goes, to me, I am outraged by it. My constituents are outraged by it. And I'm outraged for a number of reasons. First, I'm outraged because if you have budget problems, the first thing you should do is look for savings. Olivia Chow didn't do that.
Baker struck a different tone today, but wouldn't say if he regretted the remarks.
I think the reality is that this is a really positive announcement today. It demonstrates the continued partnership between the federal government and the city.
The Deputy Prime Minister denied suggestions that the federal government had to be pressured or dragged to make the funding commitment.
I don't think you see me kicking or screaming right now.
Chow says when this new funding is combined with the previous $97 million commitment, it'll cover the city's $250 million in costs to house refugees and asylum seekers. So the tax hike is off the table. It won't be added to her proposed 9.5% increase, which she says is less than $1 a day for the average homeowner.
Just to be clear, there's no extra dollar here. It is still less than $1 a day.
Both Chow and Freeland say they'll continue to address the pressures on Toronto's shelter system this year. And this funding commitment isn't the end of that relationship. Sean Jeffords, CBC News, Toronto.
Next to a big win at Canada's Supreme Court today for the Ford government. The court ruling the Premier's office does not have to disclose Ford's mandate letters given to cabinet ministers back in 2018. The judgment brings to an end a nearly 6-year legal battle between the CBC and the Ford government. Mandate letters are basically marching orders issued by premiers. While previous governments have released them, Ford said they were cabinet records and wanted to keep them secret. After CBC's Freedom of Information requests were denied, lower court rulings agreed with the CBC that they should be public. But today, Canada's Supreme Court decided in the Premier's favor. And tonight, a CBC spokesperson says it is disappointed by the decision and will continue fighting for public records in the future. All right, hopping outside for a live look at our beautiful city on this Friday night. It is -2 right now, feeling like -7 when you factor in the wind. Mainly clear tonight, and those clear skies last for the next several days. And that means lots of sunshine expected, especially tomorrow, and a bit of a warm-up as well. Vic DiPaolo will join us a little later on in the show with how balmy it's expected to feel on Sunday. But first, let's dip into the NHL All-Star Weekend taking over Toronto. The NHL's best and brightest took to the ice earlier tonight down at Scotiabank Arena in a toe-to-toe skills matchup with $1 million on the line. Greg Ross is live there tonight taking in all the action. And Greg, walk us through how things went tonight.
Well, Chris, I'll tell you, this is probably the night that most fans get excited about when it comes to All-Star Weekend. You're seeing those top players in the world, as you said, going toe-to-toe, putting their skills on the line, and the league adding that extra spice this year with that $1 million prize for the overall winner. So let's take a look at what happened in this tonight. William Nylander representing the Leafs in the fastest skater competition. The hometown fans hoping for a big result here. He would finish with a time of 14.164 seconds. That was good enough for 5th place. No surprise that the man at the top of the leaderboard in this one, Oilers' Connor McDavid, he finished with a time of 13.408 seconds and wins this event for the 4th time in his career. take a look at what happened in the hardest shot competition. Austin Matthews trying to give fans here at Scotiabank Arena something to cheer about. His second shot clocking in at 96.22 miles per hour. He'd finish in 4th spot. Well behind Cale Makar of the Colorado Avalanche, who crushes his first shot, 102.56 miles per hour. He now owns the league's hardest shot. In the shooting accuracy competition, Connor McDavid showing that he can just do it all. Watch him mow down the targets one after the other. He goes 4 for 4 in a time of 9.158 seconds. But Austin Matthews of the Leafs giving him a run for his money. Hits 4 targets in 5 shots. His time, 9.341 seconds, just behind McDavid for second. We go to the one-on-one challenge, and the two Leafs managed to find their stride in this one. Nylander kicked things off, facing Cam Talbot of the Kings. Nylander with 9 points, and nobody's going to top that. But his teammate, Matthews, comes close. Matthews scores 7 points. The Leafs finishing 1-2 in that competition, and fans thinking, hey, this could go good as we go into the final competition, the obstacle course. This was the one that would decide who would win that $1 million prize. McDavid was the last to go, and he would not disappoint, speeding through the course in just over 40 seconds, finishing in first. He wins 4 of 8 competitions on the night. Just incredible. He takes the big prize. Afterwards, he was asked what he's going to do with his $1 million.
I haven't really put much thought into it. I know I'm going to have some teammates back home that are going to be very interested in what I'm going to do with it. But I'm going to have to try to figure it out. Obviously, maybe donate some of it to the teammates. We'll see. A lot of good options.
Yeah, McDavid's the guy who really wanted them to up the ante and bring that $1 million prize in, and now he takes it home, and I think some of his teammates are going to be pretty happy to share in on that $1 million prize. Crazy day. Connor McDavid also finding out today that he's going to have a chance to compete in the Olympics representing Canada, something that was announced by NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman earlier today, saying that they will have NHL players competing in the 2026 and the 2030 Olympics. So good news all around. We could see a lot of Leaf players representing their countries in the Olympics as well. So, Chris, lots of excitement here, and we still have one more day to go.
Yeah, Greg, it really was a great day, and tomorrow will be fun, too. Thanks a lot for this tonight. Greg Ross reporting live for us from Scotiabank Arena. Returning now with an exclusive interview with the mother of Sammy Yatim. In 2013, the Toronto teen was shot and killed on a streetcar by a police officer. Yesterday, a coroner's inquest ruled Yatim's death was a homicide. The inquest's jury also put forward dozens of recommendations around police training and supports for families. And today I sat down with Yatim's mother to find out how she's reacting to the conclusion of the inquest she has waited more than a decade for. How are you feeling digesting all of this?
The death of Sammy will still hurting me forever. It's a bleeding wound forever. But I hope his blood not go in vain, and this recommendation will create a safer environment for the future generations. And for the people to believe in the police more, to trust them more.
Do you believe in the police and trust them right now?
Police is very important for the society, actually. But a human being has faults, And this fault was, so huge. It was huge for us. I cannot believe that I don't have Sammy. A lot of times I go walking for 2 hours or more and talking with my son,
And the jury, in their verdict and recommendations, they offered you and your family their heartfelt condolences. And we've been hearing, as I'm sure you have as well, from Canadians across the country expressing just heartbreak over Sammy's passing, but all these years later, you having to go through all of this once again.
Yeah, that was the point. I was so angry from delaying, and it takes a long time because it makes our suffering. or suffering long, you know. For example, my daughter, since the inquest starts, she doesn't stop crying. The most important thing, I care about it, it's the victim's family support, you know. We were alone, me and Sarah, all the time, and we had severe depression, and we didn't have any support.
How hopeful are you that that will actually come through and that families will have a different experience than yours and actually feel supported both through emotional support and also financial support?
You know, actually, this recommendation, I appreciate it a lot, and I hope it becomes true.
Another big recommendation that came up a lot was mandatory peer intervention training.
Yeah.
For officers to step in, to know that they can step in,
Yeah.
and to know that if they don't step in, they could face penalties.
Yes.
What did that recommendation mean to you?
Yes, that's also is very important, you know, because if somebody will interfere with Mr. Forcello and just ask Sammy, "Hi, son, what is your name? What do you want? We are here to help you," the result will not like that.
The jury saying that this was a homicide. What did that mean to you?
So Forcello killed my son.
Did that give you any extra validation or closure at all?
Yes, of course. You know, I told you that simply simply Forcello killed Sammy, and they admit that. That's kind of relief, you know.
But do you think today, if this scenario had played out, enough has changed over the last 10 years already that we would see a different outcome?
I'm looking, and all of us should looking for a zero death by police. It's still happening. We heard a lot of accidents after Sammy's death, killing by the police. It shouldn't happen, you know. People's life is a matter, and every child is so precious to his family, you know. So they have to think 1,000 times before killing.
Now that the inquest is over, does this let you move forward, get closure, anything like that?
Not yet. Not yet. Now we are living in a hope, you know, to reach to a safer society. So we're waiting to see what will happen.
Anything else that you wanted to let people know about?
I say to Sammy, "Sammy, I promise to fight for justice for you. I hope this recommendation come true and they apply it so it's a kind of justice for Sammy Yatim."
Welcome back. We're in for some unseasonably warm weather this weekend, and the warmth is coming with lots of sunshine as well. Let's get back to Victor Paulo with the long-range forecast.
Taking a look at the map of North America here, well, we can see that Arctic air mass for Western Canada has really moved itself north. But over here where we're located in southeastern Ontario, you can see that temperatures are really starting to get low, especially for the overnights for tonight and tomorrow. And due to that Arctic air mass really working its way into Quebec and into southeastern Ontario. Now, taking a bit of a long-range look at what we're going to be expecting, well, that air mass is eventually going to lift and move itself towards the northeast of where we're located, which is eventually going to be pulling in a lot of warmer temperatures from the south once we reach Friday. Now you'll notice that right about now when it comes to the overnights, we're close to that 0, but then as we do get closer towards Friday, you'll notice the daytime highs as well will be increasing. Now, taking a look at temperatures tonight, there will be periods where you get to see some stars as it will be partly cloudy, close to clear, -6, feeling like -10. And as mentioned, the warming centers will be open. Now, taking a bird's eye view at exactly when and where the clouds will start to clear, well, right around 3 o'clock on Saturdays when it's going to be forecasted to clear. And that's going to lead us to some clear skies where we get to really see and feel that sun and we get to see the stars at night. Now, a bit of a closer look at what that looks like and when, well, right as mentioned around 3 o'clock, that's where things do start to clear. As you do get closer to supper time and the overnight, well, more clear skies are in store. Now, taking a look at a 3 and 7 day forecast, here's one thing to note. You do see that it's going to be pretty cold when it comes to tomorrow night, similar to tonight, but the daytime highs will be nice around 5 degrees on Sunday. And taking a look at your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, well, as you get closer to Friday, that's the warming up that we're talking about looking at the map of North America, as a lot of those warmer air masses from the south are working its way towards us. You can see a high of 4 on Wednesday, take a step to the side, high of 7 on Thursday, and a high of 9 on Friday, all above seasonal temperatures. Well, hope you all enjoy your weekend, Toronto. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, you have a great weekend as well, Victor. In sports, the Jays announced today they signed 39-year-old Justin Turner, hoping to bring some veteran leadership to the team.
If you want to win a World Series, like, we're going to have to, swallow some pride and just do whatever it takes, whether that's the sexy role or not. I promise you won't care about it when you're, holding that trophy at the end of the day.
The contract is 1 year for $13 million. He was a former most valuable player back in 2017 and was part of the 2020 Dodgers team that won the World Series. Finally, tonight, a celebration of changemakers in the Malvern neighborhood, including one man who came to Scarborough almost 2 decades after living most of his life in Sri Lanka. He now volunteers his time teaching a variety of skills.
I was a teacher and a teacher trainer in Sri Lanka. That continues to be there with me, and I am happy that I am able to give back what I have learned to the society.
He's pushing 90 years old, but not slowing down. And this Malvern Made campaign is all about highlighting great work being done in an often overlooked corner of this city. And that's it for us tonight. Join Shannon Martin tomorrow at 6 p.m. and I'll be back with you on Monday at 11. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the other side.